Did you know that in 2024, a team of scientists from Harvard Medical School followed more than 8,000 adults over the age of 64, a period of 15 years? And what they uncovered left even the world's most seasoned aging experts stunned. The individuals who thrived the most, who stayed vibrant, lived longer, and reported the highest levels of daily fulfillment, weren't the ones surrounded by the largest families or constantly receiving visits from grandchildren. Surprisingly, the real secret belonged to those who developed what researchers now refer to as the 6 foundations of self-sustaining support. These foundations turned out to be 73% more accurate in predicting long-term health, vitality, and happiness than family connections alone. Think about that for a second. Everything society teaches us about needing family to age well may have overlooked something much bigger, something far more transformative. Here's where it gets even more astonishing. People who built all 6 foundations displayed biological signatures of being up to 12 years younger than their real age. Their telomeres, the protective ends of DNA strands that determine cellular aging, were noticeably longer. Their inflammation levels were lower than average. Their cognitive test scores matched, and sometimes surpassed, individuals decades younger. But the discovery that shocked scientists the most was tied to the single most powerful foundation. When Stanford University researchers isolated this one factor in their massive 2023 study, they found that it actually restructured the brains of adults over 6, forming fresh neural circuits that experts once believed were impossible to create past midlife. Participants who strengthened this one foundation cut their risk of early mortality by an incredible 42%. Before we dive into these revelations, drop a comment below with your age and where you're watching from. We read and respond to every message, so don't hesitate, share with us now. Now, let's begin. Pillar No. 6. Let's begin with number 6. Your emotional strength reservoir. This is the core foundation that supports every other pillar. Emotional resilience after 60 isn't just about staying cheerful during challenging days. It's about cultivating what psychologists describe as adaptive emotional flexibility, the ability of your brain to process difficult feelings without letting them destabilize your entire SYSTEMA Major 2023 study conducted by the University of Michigan tracked 3,200 older adults and discovered something remarkable. Individuals with strong emotional resilience experienced 31% fewer medical appointments and had 28% lower rates of long-term illnesses. What makes this even more compelling is the brain science behind it. As you strengthen emotional resilience, your amygdala, the part of your brain responsible for fear and alarm, literally reduces in size. Meanwhile, your prefrontal cortex, the center of logic, planning, and clarity, forms stronger pathways and communicates more efficiently. This isn't guesswork. Researchers observed these changes through high-resolution fMRI brain scans. To build this kind of resilience, you must practice something called cognitive reinterpretation daily. It means that whenever something difficult occurs, you intentionally search for 3 alternative ways to view the situation. For example, if your arthritis flares up, instead of thinking, "I'm deteriorating," you might say, "My body is signaling me to slow down today," or "This is a chance to test a new relief method," or "At least I can still do gentle movements that help me stay flexible." Consistency is everything. Research indicates it takes around 66 days of daily repetition for your mind to adopt this as its automatic response. You also need to strengthen something known as emotional granularity. This means identifying your exact emotional state instead of using vague labels like bad or upset. Scientists from Northeastern University found that people who could accurately name 20 or more distinct emotions enjoyed 34% better health results after age 60. Start keeping a simple emotion log. Each day, write down precisely what you're feeling using specific terms like irritated, discouraged, uneasy, lonely, low-spirited, or unsettled instead of broad words like sad or angry. The more accurately you name your emotions, the faster your brain can process them without allowing them to harm your physical health. Another powerful method is called temporal distancing. When something stresses you, imagine yourself looking back on this moment 5 years from now. Studies show this mental exercise can reduce emotional intensity by up to 45%. Helping you respond with clarity rather than panic or frustration. Now, let's move upward to a pillar that might surprise you with its deep importance. But before we continue, if this video has been helpful so far, make sure you've hit the like button so more seniors can benefit. And don't forget to subscribe. We release new science-backed senior health videos every single day, and you don't want to miss what's coming next. Pillar No. 5. You definitely don't want to skip this one. Pillar number 5. Your physical vitality. After the age of 60, physical health becomes far more complex than simply doing light exercise or adding more vegetables to your meals, though both matter. The true game changer is learning how to build and protect what scientists call your physiological reserve, which is essentially the backup strength your body holds in storage. Think of it like having extra power banks ready for your body whenever life drains your energy. A groundbreaking 2024 study from Johns Hopkins followed 5,000 adults over 60 and discovered something eye-opening. Individuals who actively strengthened their physiological reserve experienced 38% fewer hospital visits and recovered 50% faster from injuries, infections, or sudden health problems. One of the biggest contributors to this reserve is muscle tissue, but not for the simple strength reason most people believe. Your muscles function as a hormone-releasing organ, producing powerful chemical messengers called myokines that communicate directly with your brain, your bones, and even your immune cells. Every pound of muscle you maintain after 60 acts like a personal medicinal factory, pumping out natural anti-inflammatory compounds that help your entire body stay balanced. Research from the Mayo Clinic shows that seniors who maintain strong muscle mass have 40% lower chances of cognitive decline, along with better memory, sharper thinking, and greater independence. To build or maintain muscle after resistance training at least 2 times per week is essential. But here's the secret most older adults never hear. You must gradually increase the difficulty every 2 weeks, no matter how small the increase is. Muscles only grow when they're pushed just beyond what they can currently handle. Studies reveal that adults over 60 can boost their strength by an incredible 174% within 6 months when they follow progressive overload correctly. The next major element is metabolic flexibility, which refers to your body's ability to switch smoothly between burning carbohydrates and burning stored fat. Many older adults lose this flexibility, which is why fatigue becomes constant and energy levels stay low. To rebuild it, practice time-restricted eating, where all your daily meals fall within an 8-1-hour eating window. A 2023 study found that adults over 60 who followed this for only 12 weeks improved their metabolic flexibility by 43% and felt 35% more energetic throughout the day. Your cardiovascular system also needs targeted attention, but not through long, exhausting jogging sessions or hour-long treadmill routines. The newest studies show that exercise snacking is dramatically more effective for people over 60. This involves doing tiny bursts of movement several times a day, like walking up the stairs for 2 minutes every hour, performing 20 squats while waiting for the kettle to boil, or marching in place during TV commercials. These micro-workouts add up faster than you'd imagine, and research shows they improve heart health indicators by 29% more than traditional long cardio sessions. Now, we're moving toward the pillars that truly distinguish those who age vibrantly from those who are simply getting through the years. Pillar No, for moving from simply surviving to truly living, brings us to pillar number 4, your financial stability. This is one of the most underestimated pillars of all. Many people believe emotional support and family ties can carry them through anything. But the truth is, stark when financial pressure hits, even the strongest emotional foundation can feel shaky. And let's be honest, financial worry has a unique way of draining your peace, your sleep, and your sense of freedom. The goal here is to build what experts call financial resilience, a 3-part framework that protects your independence, reduces stress, and gives you long-term control over your future. The first piece is diversifying your income streams. Older adults with 3 or more sources of income, even small ones, report 52% less financial worry than those depending on just 1 or 2. This could look like a combination of pension benefits, part-time work, a small rental income, dividend payments, hobby-related sales, or government benefits. The message is simple. Never rely on a single source when you can create alternatives.
A little bit of everything, just like
I recently came across a company that focuses heavily on financial education for seniors and explains how tools like precious metals, gold-backed accounts, and long-term asset protection strategies can help safeguard retirement savings from market volatility. They offer free resources that break down those concepts in simple terms, which can be incredibly helpful for staying financially independent no matter how unpredictable the economy becomes. If you're curious, you can check the link below. They've put together a guide that many find eye-opening. Strengthening this pillar is one of the smartest ways to maintain stability. Next comes consumption smoothing, an economic principle that involves adjusting your spending in small steps instead of dramatic cutbacks. Research shows that people who gently lower their expenses by around 2% per year starting at age 60 maintain significantly better physical and mental well-being compared to people who suddenly slash their budgets during tough times. Slow adjustments keep your lifestyle steady without triggering stress or panic. The third piece is rapid financial learning. A Yale study revealed that individuals over 60 who spend just 15 minutes a day learning about basic personal finance for half a year increased their net worth by 23% on average and lowered their financial stress by 41%. This doesn't mean becoming an investment expert. It means understanding essentials like supplemental insurance options, the proper timeline for withdrawing retirement funds, how taxes work in retirement, and how to quickly identify financial scams. And scams are a huge concern. People over 60 lose billions of dollars each year to fraud, However, seniors with strong financial literacy are 67% less likely to become victims. Another powerful technique is building a spending hierarchy, ranking your expenses based on what enhances your wealth, not just what you need to survive. Studies show that people who deliberately choose to invest in experiences, relationships, and personal growth rather than material items experience 38% higher life satisfaction. This could mean prioritizing a trip to visit loved ones instead of buying a brand phone or a luxury appliance. Having a health-specific emergency fund is also crucial. Research finds that having even $1,000 set aside solely for unexpected medical costs reduces anxiety by 44%, improves sleep quality, and lowers stress-related hormones. The ripple effect of strong financial health is extraordinary. When money stops being a daily source of tension, your emotional resilience strengthens, your physical health stabilizes, and you gain the freedom to nurture the social ties and meaningful pursuits that define life after 60. And now, we move into the realms where things become even more fascinating. Your social world and how it shapes the quality of your aging experience. Pillar No. 3. Now we arrive at one of the most underestimated yet life-altering pillars. Your social ecosystem. Your social life after 60 isn't just nice to have, it is genuinely a predictor of life or death. And no, that's not exaggeration. The legendary Harvard study of adult development running for over 8 decades recently revealed that adults over 60 who maintain strong social bonds have a 50% lower chance of dying early. That's a greater impact on longevity than quitting smoking or dropping 40 pounds. But here's what most people misunderstand. It's not the number of people in your life. It's the composition and quality of your social network. What researchers call your social convoy. This is the group of individuals who walk through life with you. And after 60, the quality of these relationships becomes far more influential than the quantity. A Stanford report shows that people over 60 need 3 distinct layers of connection to flourish. First, are your core confidants, 2 or 3 people you could call during a crisis. Even at 3 a.m., these deep relationships lower inflammation by 32% and cut your risk of cognitive decline by 40%. They are your emotional security system. Second are your kindred spirits, usually 5 to 15 individuals who share your values, passions, and interests like fellow hikers, reading group members, or volunteer partners. Spending time with them triggers a surge of oxytocin neurobonding hormone by up to 48%, strengthening both mood and mental resilience. Third are your outer circle connections, often called peripheral ties between 50 and 150 people you interact with casually. Think of the barista who knows your order, the neighbor you greet during walks, the mail carrier, or the friendly faces at your gym. Surprisingly, these weak ties provide something sociologists refer to as ambient social awareness, keeping your cognitive systems active and alert. People with stronger peripheral ties score 25% higher on brain and memory assessments. Building and maintaining these layers after 60 requires deliberate action. Experts recommend joining a minimum of 2 recurring group activities where you see the same people weekly. Creating a close friendship takes around 200 hours of interaction, which sounds huge, but in reality is just 4 hours a week for 1 year. The secret is consistency plus gentle vulnerability. Each time you meet someone, share a small personal detail, something meaningful but not overly heavy. Gradually deepen the exchange over time. According to social penetration theory, this intentional emotional layering forms bonds 60% faster than simply participating in activities without personal sharing. Technology can strengthen your social convoy when used wisely. Video calls stimulate nearly the same brain circuits as face-to-face conversations, especially when facial expressions are clear. Seniors who have weekly video chats with friends show 27% slower cognitive decline than those who rely only on texting or voice calls. But beware of passive scrolling. Using social media without real interaction increases loneliness by 31%, even if you feel connected while scrolling. Use technology for real conversations, not endless digital noise. And now, prepare yourself because the next pillar might shock you with how deeply it transforms your sense of purpose and overall vitality. Pillar No. 2. Fully rewritten. Same length. More powerful. Pillar number 2 is your sense of purpose. After the age of 60, your purpose becomes a kind of master controller that influences every single cell in your body. Researchers in Japan studying the long-living communities of Okinawa, one of the world's most famous blue zones, where people regularly reach 100 and beyond, discovered that having a personal reason to wake up each day, known as Ikki, can extend life expectancy by an average of 7 additional years. But here's the part that truly bends the mind. In 2024, scientists at Rush University Medical Center analyzed brain scans from 500 adults over 60 and revealed that individuals with a deep sense of purpose had 44% less amyloid plaque, the same toxic protein tied to Alzheimer's disease. Their brain cells were practically shielded because they had something meaningful to drive them forward each morning. Purpose after 60 isn't about changing the entire planet, or accomplishing enormous heroic missions. Psychologists call this generative purpose, the desire to create something that will continue even after you're gone. This kind of meaning activates what researchers describe as eudaimonic wellness chemicals, including a significant rise in BDNF, a substance that acts like miracle fertilizer for your brain. Older adults with a strong generative purpose show 52% sharper memory and 38% faster cognitive processing on mental performance tests, identifying your purpose involves exploring 3 overlapping zones. The first zone includes your strengths, your lifetime collection of skills, lessons, and wisdom. The second zone represents what the world around you lacks, issues or needs that spark emotion or frustration when ignored. The third zone is pure joy thought, activities that absorb you so deeply that time seems to disappear. Your true purpose lies exactly where these 3 circles meet. Research suggests it often takes 3 to 6 months of consistent exploration to discover this purpose after 60. Begin by dedicating 1 hour a week to experimenting, volunteer in small ways. Share your knowledge. Mentor someone, or experiment with a creative skill. Observe which activities fill you with energy and which ones drain you. The things that energize you point directly toward your purpose. According to a Carnegie Mellon study, adults over 60 who volunteer for just 2 hours per week in roles that match their personal purpose lower their mortality risk by 40%, but only when the activity genuinely resonates with them. Random volunteering without emotional connection offers barely 8% of the benefit. You can amplify the power of purpose through what scientists call purpose rituals. This means starting each morning by writing a single sentence about how you intend to express your purpose today, even if it's something small. People who follow this simple daily ritual report 45% higher life satisfaction and show measurable improvements in their immune markers. Your purpose isn't fixed for life. It evolves as you grow and change. What gives your life meaning at age 60 may transform by the time you're 70. The essential thing is staying connected to that internal sense of contribution and meaning. Studies reveal that individuals who consistently refresh and adjust their sense of purpose maintain cognitive abilities comparable to people 10 years younger. And now we reach the most important pillar of all, the one that influences everything else that follows. Pillar No. 1 completely rewritten. Same length. Extremely powerful pillar number 1 is your capacity to adapt. After the age of 60, your adaptability becomes the ultimate foundation that decides whether you flourish or simply endure. And the science behind this is nothing short of groundbreaking. That Stanford research I referenced earlier revealed that adults over 60 who demonstrate high adaptability actually stimulate the growth of brand new neurons in the hippocampus, the brain's command center for memory and learning at levels scientists once believed were impossible beyond early adulthood. These individuals experienced 42% lower mortality, and they preserved their independence for nearly a decade longer than people who resisted change. Adaptability, later in life, revolves around what neuroscientists describe as cognitive flexibility, the ability of your mind to shift between thoughts, habits, and responses based on what the moment demands. Imagine being a mental athlete who can transition between different moves with ease and precision. What's even more astonishing is that this mental flexibility can be strengthened at any age. When researchers trained adults in their 70s and 80s in adaptability techniques, brain scans revealed noticeable growth in the prefrontal cortex in only 12 weeks. These older adults boosted their problem-solving capacity by 67% and felt 55% less fear about aging. At the heart of adaptability is something known as response flexibility, the skill of having multiple approaches ready to tackle challenges. Instead of relying on one rigid routine, adaptable adults build what scientists call a strategy toolkit. For example, if joint pain makes your morning walk uncomfortable, an adaptable person might switch to water aerobics, gentle chair workouts, or exercise later in the day when stiffness is lower. While this sounds simple, the neurological effects are dramatic. Each successful adjustment releases protective growth factors that shield the brain from age-related decline. Strengthening adaptability involves intentionally practicing 3 major skills. The first is seeking new challenges, purposely exposing yourself to unfamiliar tasks. This could include learning a new technology, experimenting with a new meal each week, or driving a different route to routine destinations. A University of Texas study found that adults over 60 who engaged in genuine novelty for 15 hours per week displayed brain plasticity nearly identical to people in their 40s. The secret is that the activities must truly be new, not just slightly different versions of what you already know. The second skill is perspective shifting, the capacity to view situations from more than one angle. Train this daily by intentionally arguing the opposite of your own beliefs for 5 minutes. This mental stretching boosts cognitive reserve by 34%, according to recent findings. When you read an article, pause, and consider why someone might logically disagree. This doesn't require abandoning your value, simply expands your mental range. The third skill is emotional adaptation, your emotional responses to match current realities. Instead of clinging to the past, this mirrors principles from acceptance and commitment therapy, acknowledging what cannot be changed, while still taking action toward what you can influence. People who master emotional adaptability experience 48% lower rates of anxiety and depression after 61. Of the strongest tools for adaptability is something psychologists call implementation intentions, pre-planned strategies for obstacles. For every goal you set, identify 3 potential hurdles and outline exactly how you will respond to each. Research shows this simple habit increases successful adaptation by 71%. For instance, if your plan is to get a workout in but the weather suddenly turns stormy, prepare beforehand by deciding you'll switch to a home routine instead. Having these alternatives ready reduces the mental pressure of making decisions on the spot. Highly adaptable adults over 60 also use a method known as selective optimization with compensation, recognizing shifts in your abilities and adjusting your approach strategically. Maybe playing 2 full hours of tennis is no longer realistic, but participating in a 45-minute doubles match still keeps you active and engaged. You're maximizing what you can do while intelligently compensating for your limits. This approach maintains nearly 89% of the benefits, with far less strain and a significantly reduced risk of injury. The ripple effect of adaptability on the remaining pillars is nothing short of remarkable. Adaptable individuals protect their physical health by modifying their movement routines as their bodies change. They preserve meaningful social networks by discovering new ways to interact, even when old habits become harder to maintain. They stay financially steady by adjusting their spending patterns and earning strategies as circumstances shift. They keep their sense of purpose alive by reshaping how they contribute as their capabilities evolve. They strengthen emotional resilience by learning to accept change and respond creatively rather than resisting reality. When these 6 pillars overlap, they create what scientists call successful aging synergia dynamic, where each pillar reinforces the others, creating a powerful upward spiral. With all 6 working together, the overall outcome becomes far greater than any single pillar on its own. You're not merely extending your lifespan, you're enriching the quality, clarity, and meaning of every year you live. The science makes something absolutely clear. While family can play a meaningful role, these 6 pillars offer a broader, more stable foundation for thriving after 61 that stands strong even when traditional family structures shift or weaken. And the empowering part, you can start building these pillars at any point in life. Age is not a barrier. Research confirms that the moment you begin practicing these habits consistently, positive changes start appearing within weeks. Your future self will deeply appreciate every step you take to strengthen these core supports. Now we'd love to hear from you. Which of these 6 pillars do you lean on the most to stay fulfilled and resilient after 60? Do you think emotional support from friends can sometimes become stronger than family connections as we grow older? Share your thoughts and personal experiences in the comments below. We truly enjoy reading them. Thank you so much for watching.